r/AskReddit Bus drivers of Reddit, what is something you wish customers knew, or would do more? We remember you. You might not remember me, but I remember if you're a pain in the ass or say hello to me when you get on. I have pulled in and waited a good 3 minutes at the side of the road because a passenger I liked was trying her best to run for my bus. She was old and it was raining and thought frick it, I'm waiting here for her as the next stop was ages away. Also please remember I'm human too, I make mistakes, I don't know where everything is but I'll do my best. I wonder if it's a British thing. But whenever get the bus, we don't stand in line or form an orderly queue, rather just mill around or stand wherever. However, while doing that we will have taken note of exactly who was there before we were. So when the bus arrives a queue will spontaneously form with everyone in the exact order of arrival. That all bus drivers are inherently twats. Probably didn't pass the exam as a police officer and just wanted to wear a uniform and have a small amount of control over other people's lives. If I ever encounter the bus driver who called the police on me in Huntingdon, England, I will boot his balls all the way back to Biggleswade. School bus driver here, but I hope that counts. When I tell you to throw your lollipop away, it's not to be mean, it's to save your freaking life. If I have to slap on my brakes, that lollipop is getting shoved to the back of your throat. Besides, I have no eating signs posted everywhere on here. Oh, and the seating chart is not optional, so stop asking if you can sit somewhere else. And there's never an appropriate situation to bring an animal on the bus, so please stop. I don't know how it is in other cities, but in ours the hours suck. For the first 5 years you can forget about weekends, you won't see summer holidays for about 8 years and you won't get a straight shift for about 10 years. Right now I work at 6:02 till 9:44, have a long break and then start again at 13:29 till 17:59. Also when it's busy we still need to use the washroom like other humans. School bus drive here, have your kids at the stop ready to go when I get there. My schedule expects me to take 1 minute at each stop. If your kid isn't ready we fall behind. If we fall enough behind we are late. Also call dispatch if your kid is sick. It is so helpful to me. My not stopping at your kid's stop means I have time for the next kid to not be ready when I get there. Alright kids, a real live city bus driver here. When entering and exiting the bus take out one of your earbuds so you can be polite and hear any information that might be given or just to acknowledge a hello. And say thanks when you leave, not that hard, and we live in a society where humans should interact with one another. Fucking bus driver here. Have your shat ready before you get on a bus. That's it. All the other shat I can deal with. Not having your fare ready when the bus arrives indicates to me a lot of things about you. Likely that you don't have any savings accounts, probably don't know how to prepare for a vacation considering you can't even prepare to board a bus. Not a drive, but I wish more people would, before boarding, look to see if someone is getting off the bus. If they are, wait till they get off. It's simple math, they get off, there is now room for you. I can't count how many times I ran someone over with my son's stroller because they wanted on the bus while I was getting off the bus. Itch off, I will run you over as the front is only wide enough for the stroller. I used to be a bus driver. I have 2 pet peeves that were always grinding my gears. 1. When you exit the bus, do not cross the street in front of the bus. Cars can't see you until it's too late. Wait for the bus to leave or cross the street behind the bus if you can. 2. When the bus is crowded or getting to be crowded, move all the way to the back and take off backpacks or anything taking up extra space. Otherwise we have to waste everyone's time telling you to do this. Not a bus driver, my sister is though. Her stories of people getting on the bus asking for a free ride are the best. Her whole thing is if you have the money, pay. If not, let her know and it's okay. Don't expect a free ride because you're entitled to one. It's a kindness from her. Fare evasion is a crime and she's not above getting the cops involved if you're an asshole. Not a bus driver, but in Portland, or at night, the bus driver will generally stop anywhere along the route if you ask nicely in order to hopefully get you a little closer to where you are going, drop you off in a safer, more lit place, etc. I haven't lived there in a hot minute, but I imagine it's probably the same. They'll do it during the day when reasonable, but again, if you ask nicely. Bus driver here. First of all, I agree with the other driver in this thread that mentioned he was mostly annoyed by other bus drivers. Me too. Bunch of complainers, also more annoyed by the other drivers on the road. As for passengers, as simple please as this is, please leave with your trash. Bending down in between seats to pick it up is always the last thing I want to do at the end of my shift. In our area, concessions bus passes for elderly start at 9:30 am, and not before. Please do not get on and say, "Oh, I use it all the time." We know you don't. Secondly, don't say, "I'll scan it when I get off," as that's not how it works, and the bus full of paying passengers will be pissed. Thirdly, if you get on at 9:25 to 27, don't try and stall me so the time ticks over for your pass to work. As a bus rider, I wish people respected the implicit line when waiting for the bus. I'm always one to let the elderly, handicapped, or over-encumbered board first, but I always get a little annoyed when I'm standing here waiting for 15 minutes and Johnny Knofrix over here runs up as the bus is arriving and takes the last available seat. My mom's a bus driver, and she says that on party buses people should understand tipping, and do it more often. On school buses, kids often can't behave and parents/administrators need to do more about their behavior, otherwise they can run amok, peeing on their pants and throwing them at the driver. That did happen once, and other such things. My mom is a school bus driver, and she constantly wishes for everyone to not scream and cry at every single little thing. It's gotten pretty bad too, like she will start singing in order to get them to be quiet, or she'll take the bus mic and start calling out kids who should be old enough to not cry at stupid little things but do anyways. Former driver here. Get to your bus stop on time, and make your friends do the same. I had to deal with so many instances of people putting one foot on the first step while leaving the other on the ground, parking themselves so they could wait for their friend to run and catch the bus. It's the only thing that would make me angry. Finally, a thread I have an answer for. I drive a school bus for an after-school program. My biggest problem is with other drivers on the road. It's like no one understands how to drive around bigger vehicles. Like I need people to understand that I may be slower on the road, but I'm also slower to brake than you as well. And not all drivers of big vehicles are innocent. A lot of them don't know how to properly drive them either. I'm from Finland, and I didn't know people acted this bad on buses in the US. Here usually nobody says a word and everyone is quiet on the bus. People don't block old people with bags, there is no screaming kids. We have really good transportation systems, I guess. If you want the bus to stop at the next stop, you press a stop button located next to every seat to alert the driver. Everyone knows if you have change, not a pass to go in last. I used to drive a school bus for elementary kids to and from daycare. My biggest pet peeve was when they didn't follow directions. The same directions every day: get on the bus, buckle up, let me know if you need help, don't stand up until I tell you that you can, pick up all your trash. Yet somehow, they always acted like they were riding the bus for the first time. Children are creatures of habit. And apparently forgetfulness. Not a driver but ride bus and train every day. Take off your backpack. When it's crowded it takes up the space of 2 people. Exit out the back door, the front door is for people getting on. It's all much faster and more efficient this way. I am never sitting by the time I get to my stop. Young men, you should not be sitting if a lady or an elder is standing. We are human and make mistakes. Believe me, we are just as stressed out as you are, more, even, when we miss the turn we were supposed to make. We don't need half the bus yelling at us because we realize almost immediately that we frick it up. When passengers start yelling at us, it makes it even more stressful and harder to correct our mistake. Not so much customers, but when I drove it was other drivers. Things like trying to take a right-hand turn with a car stopped 6 feet past the stop line in the opposing left-hand turn lane. The stop line was placed there for a reason. Now I can't make my turn and have to sit there and honk at them until they realize what's going on and back up. Then act like it's my fault. Grrrrrrrr. For kids, the reason I'm telling you to sit down and so that if I have to slam on the brakes you don't end up in my windshield. For pedestrians, I wish they understood that I am 60,000 pounds of metal coming toward them and I only have so much ability to stop. Stop crossing the road in front of me. I am not trying to kill anybody. Thanks for watching this auto-generated video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I upload videos like this one daily. I put a lot of time into developing this video generator, but if there have been errors, please tell me in the comments below. Also leave me a link to another thread you would like to see a video about. Have a great day, Alex.